Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. Lots of great things going on in the Lego room, so we got a lot of ground to cover today. I wanted to quickly go over some of the awesome stuff that we brought back from Bricks Cascade in Portland. It was an awesome convention. We've got lots of great videos that have been going up on the channel and still have a number of cool videos to come, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. I've also got an awesome project that I've been working on for displaying the Lego Speed Champions sets and some of the other cars in our collection. So we'll cover that and show you the progress we've been making over there. And we've got some great progress on the Mills plates around our Lego city. I've been doing a number of projects and different things around that. So lots to cover. So let's jump right in and get started by taking a look at some of the cool items from Bricks Cascade that we brought back. So first up from Bricks Cascade, we've got an awesome shirt that I purchased. Always a big fan of Lego shirts in general, but specifically it's nice to pick up all the different shirts that they offer at each of the conventions. They got different designs and patterns and theming based on the convention. And, this is going to be another great addition to my collection. And, it's always great to be able to wear them throughout the year, whether I'm just working here in the Lego room or, if I'm out at a convention. Always nice to be able to wear these different shirts. So really happy to add this to my collection. And then we've also got the Bricks Cascade bag. This contains some of the goodies that I got at the convention. And then we've got the the various engraved bricks that I picked up as well. So we got my name, Adam's Brick Junction, Bricks Cascade 2023, and the recognized AFOL networking event brick as well. So very happy to have those. I will be adding those into our growing brick stack of the various conventions that we've gone to over the years. So really happy with all of those items. Next up, we have the convention kit here from Bricks Cascade. Always a really big fan of these convention kits. They're fun builds, interesting techniques that you learn, getting to build something that other builders in the community have designed. And, it's also a nice window or sort of opportunity to build types of models and themes that you might not normally build. So, looking forward to building this one. We'll build it soon and put a video up on the channel, but quite excited about that. And then we've got here a couple of bags of parts that I picked up as prizes at the convention. Really happy with these. We've got the snow white leaves here, which I think are going to be awesome for some trees and just general vegetation around some of our winter village buildings. And then we've got the awesome dark red profile brick. Really big fan of this particular brick. I'm not sure specifically what we will use it for at the moment, but we've got a number of building projects coming up, so I don't think we will have a hard time finding a use and a home for that. So really happy with both of those parts that we were able to pick up. And, overall, just had an amazing time at Bricks Cascade. Saw a ton of great builds, met a lot of great builders. And, as I mentioned, definitely a number of great videos yet to come from that convention. And I'm going to talk a little bit in an upcoming video as well about some of the things related to Lego City and train builds specifically, that I saw and learned about at the show that I want to apply to our layout here. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Now let's take a look at the project I was mentioning with how I'm displaying the Speed Champions sets. Now, really excited about that, and I think you will find it pretty cool. So as you can see here in the stairway heading down into the Lego room, I've added 4 IKEA pegboards, which I'm using for displaying the Lego Speed Champions sets as well as other Lego cars. Currently, we've mostly got Speed Champions sets up here, with the exception being the one Lego gift with purchase car. But we'll be continuing to add to these boards in the coming weeks and months. Now, in general, for displaying the Lego cars, I had these up on the ledge heading down into the Lego room, but it's hard to be able to display large quantities of these cars in a way that you can really appreciate all of the amazing details on them sort of as you go by the display, which is what I like about the way that we've got them here on the pegboards. We can fit a large number of cars in with a very low profile, and you can really appreciate a lot of the amazing details on both the top and the sides of all of these cars. So it's really an ideal way to display them. And it still leaves a large amount of space for walking up and down the stairs. It doesn't really compromise your ability to move in and out of the space. But as I mentioned, it gives you a lot of opportunity to appreciate these excellent models, and it opens up not only more space for us to add additional car builds here, but it also opens up this ledge underneath the world map here for additional Lego display opportunities. So really happy with how this is working. Now let's take a closer look at the cars on here so you can see how they're mounted on the pegboard. Each Lego car has 2 2x4 black bricks on the underside. The top 2x4 brick has a dowel in it that goes through the pegboard. And the bottom 2x4 brick is just for keeping the car level and stable against the pegboard. The nice thing about using this method for mounting them on here, you can't really see the 2x4 bricks. If we kind of look down on these cars on the bottom, you can see the top 2x4 brick a little bit. But from the side, these cars are almost flush with the pegboard there. There's not a lot of a gap sort of to see what's going on in behind the scenes, which is nice. It means our mounting method doesn't detract from the displaying of each of the cars, which I really appreciate. And the dowel on the back, currently we're using an elastic on the back of the dowel to keep it, just to offer a little bit of friction on the back and prevent the dowel from slipping back through or moving up and down too much on the pegboard. I don't think that's going to be the final solution. I think we'll try a few other options for just adding a little bit of resistance and friction on the back there for the dowel. But these cars are all really sturdy on here. I'm really happy with how sort of safe and secure they are. And, generally speaking, it's really easy to, sort of get the board off of the wall and get it back up onto the wall when I'm doing that and sort of adding additional cars. I don't have any worries about any of the cars that are mounted on here coming off. So really happy overall with this display method for the cars. And like I mentioned, it is going to give me an opportunity here to get all of the Speed Champion sets that we have and any other Lego car builds displayed in a great way. I can get them all built and mounted up here without too much difficulty, which is nice because we'd run out of room on the shelf here under the world map. And even though it was a nice place to display the cars there, you really couldn't appreciate all of the great details on these models the way that you can now that they're mounted up here. So keep an eye out in future Lego Room updates. We'll show you periodically how this display area is coming together and growing as we build additional car models and get them mounted up here. But quite happy with where this is going, and an excellent addition to the stairwell area heading into our Lego room. And just for context, you can see some of the Speed Champion sets that we will be building now that we've got a display area for them. It will be awesome to be able to build these. I've had these sitting off on the side because I didn't know where I would display them once they were built. But really happy now that I'm going to be able to get all of these built and show them off in a nice way on our pegboard. Now, as I've been talking about with the Lego City and the layout in general, I've been working towards getting everything converted over to mills, specifically the double loop of track around the whole layout. And been getting really close, but I ran out of specific parts that I needed for the last complete turn here. And then there's a few parts that I needed for the interior curve on the corner right over there. And the good news is that I have received some Bricklink orders, and I think we've got all the parts that we needed for finishing off those corners, specifically the bricks that are needed underneath to float the ballasted track. So really looking forward to being able to finish the loop of that outer loop of track. It's been a long time since I've been able to run track around the entire perimeter of the layout, and it's going to be really exciting to be able to start to do that again. One of the other projects that I started doing around the last update video, I believe it was, I was talking about post the Lego train show that I went to. I really wanted to work on sort of collapsing down the mills modules that I was taking to the show and making them easier to transport. Specifically, the corner modules previously were one monolithic side with another smaller monolithic chunk that would then get attached together at the show. And what I've been working on doing is getting those curve pieces for each of the corners split down so that they are in 4 chunks in this particular case here for the one portion of the corner that was monolithic. And then if we look at the bigger chunk over here, you can see that we've got each of these sections split apart. So, when they're being used for a display, they'll all be connected together. The track will go over top. It'll be just fine. But when I need to transport them from one place to another, I can just take them apart and have them nicely stacked together in a bin, and I don't have to worry about taking this entire section as one chunk, which is difficult to carry. I mean, it's not impossible to carry and not impossible to have in a vehicle when you're going from point A to point B, but it just makes things more difficult. It's easy for some of these parts to come and get knocked off and fall over on the ground, which is annoying. It's also, difficult to stack things on top of chunks like this. So just trying to make life a little bit easier when we're taking large sections like this to train shows. So really happy with how this is coming together. I've got a couple more things I want to do in terms of labeling on the undersides of these so that it's easy to put them back together once they've been taken apart into the individual chunks, and I know where then everything goes in this bigger section. So I'll talk about that more in an upcoming video. I want to do a bit of a deeper look at this and what we're doing, but really happy with how this is coming together, and I think it's going to pay a lot of dividends later in the year, because we've got another train show that we're going to be taking stuff to in September, and I think it's going to make things infinitely easier the more I can have things segmented like this, and then transported in bins. I think it'll just be so much easier and take an extra layer of stress off what can already be a stressful time when you're trying to shuffle a lot of things in and out of the basement and off to a show. So really happy with how that's coming together. Now, the other thing that you'll notice here is I've been working with all of the straight track sections around the layout and making sure that those are all broken down into one base plate by one base plate sections so that, it's easy to take apart, put together back into the layout, easy to transport from the Lego room here to a show, back from the show to the Lego room, and then easy to sort of reconfigure it back into the layout again. So really happy with how all of this sort of segmentation work is going. I think it's going to pay a lot of dividends down the line. And, there might be sections here that I don't split up right away, just, because I want to get the full loop running again around the layout. But, the more I can get done now, the better off I'm going to be. And, to facilitate that with my Bricklink orders that I did for all the remaining plates and whatnot that I needed for the corner modules, I also picked up more of these 1x4 Technic bricks, which are used as the connectors between the various mills modules. When I was breaking things down, I covered up the fact that I didn't have some of these by just having regular 2x4 bricks connecting some of these sections together. So now that they're coming apart and they're just one base plate chunks, I need to make sure that I've got these Technic brick pieces in all the right places so that I can easily use the Technic pins to hold everything together when the modules are sort of in display mode and not in transport. So really happy to pick up all of these extra 1x4 Technic bricks. They're going to be super useful as we go through and finish breaking down the various corner modules. And speaking of corner modules, I have picked up a whole bunch of these 4x8 plates in this brown color, which I will be using to sort of unify the coloring on these corner modules that I have over on this side of the layout. The existing sort of plate that I was using here was just kind of a catch-all while I was, just to try to finish these modules off and get them initially working. But now that I've got a consistent color and a color that I think works better for a corner module, I will fix up some of these sort of patchwork areas here where it was kind of a mix match of different coloring for plates. So don't know if I'll do that all up front. I might replace some of it and then get things running around the layout and then go back and fix up sort of over time the modules here. But just happy to have a whole bunch of these. I've got, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of these brown plate pieces. So we should be able to fix up hopefully all the different modules over here so that we're more consistently, call that a brown. Then we've got the light tan and then some gray and black that we'll use probably through some of the train yard areas for the module sort of floor color, we'll call it. So I think those are good colors. I'm happy to generally use those ones. So we'll try to be as consistent as we can. I guess there'll be some of that, call that a dark tan as well, but keeping it all in sort of the dirt coloring palette and then the sort of gravel color palette as well for the different mills modules that we use for corners and straightaways, especially when you're out of the city area. So we'll see how that goes. I think that, like I said, I think we can do a bunch of replacement right away and, getting rid of some of the whites and the greens over there and getting a consistent color. But it'll probably take a little while before we, replace everything across these couple corner modules. But we'll get started and we'll see where it goes from there. Now, one other thing that I wanted to give a quick sneak peek for you on is a cool new element that I picked up from Brick Stuff in a recent order. I picked up a number of these horizontal power connectors. They use magnets and transmit the power across the magnets to the other side, which I'm hoping to use in some of our mills modules for the buildings in the city. I think that will make it easier to sort of shift buildings around in the city and take buildings to different shows that we go to. My current system of having the wiring move across from module to module works, but it's just an extra layer of fiddling and taking stuff apart and putting stuff back together that if I can avoid it, especially when I'm taking stuff out of the layout to go to a show and then bringing it back from the show, I think that would be really cool. So I'm excited about the potential of these horizontal power connectors, and we will talk more about them in an upcoming video, but I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek there and talk a bit about that because really excited about it. I think it's got a lot of potential, and if it starts to work well, maybe we can pick up more of them and start to work that through other parts of the layout as well. But definitely an interesting thing that we'll be talking more about in an upcoming video. So that's it for now. Really happy with how the Lego room is continuing to come together. Great progress in the stairway down into the Lego room. Lots of exciting work going on across the layout and the city. And we've got a few other interesting projects which we will talk more about in an upcoming video. But, overall, lots of great stuff going on. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And thank you very much for watching. We will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.